What's up, YouTubers? Hardworker12 with you here today at Ocean Subaru in Fullerton, and we are looking at a beautiful 2020 Subaru Outback Touring in cinnamon brown. What we're going to do today is review this car. I'm going to show you the cargo area, I'm going to show you the passenger room, we're going to measure stuff out, we're going to look at the new technology on the car, and then we're going to take it for a test drive. Let's go. We're going to start at the rear with the cargo area, and real quick I'll show off one of the new technology features available on the higher end Outbacks. The key is in my pocket. If I hold my hand here, I get a beep, and the rear hatch opens. So here is the rear cargo area with the seats up. This is going to give you 32.5 cubic feet of cargo space. And something else that's pretty cool, the Touring model comes standard with the cargo area cover, and you can stow it underneath the floorboards so you don't lose it. Now, if we want to fold the back seats down, there's a couple of different ways to do it, but from here, we can fold them down, and now we see the full 75.7 cubic feet of cargo space. But really, what does this mean? 32 cubic feet, 75 cubic feet, who cares? If you're interested in a Subaru, what you want to know is, will my cello case fit? Will my dog crate fit? Will my drum kit fit? Will my $4,000 mountain bike fit? Will my $9,000 road bike fit? Well, today, I brought my tape measure, and we're going to find out. Width of the rear cargo opening, 44 3/4 inches. Height of the rear cargo opening, 33 inches. Length to the bottom of the back seat with the seats up, 41 inches. Length to the top of the back seat with the seats down, 64 inches. Width at the narrowest point of the cargo area, 42.5 inches. Interior height of the cargo area, 32 inches. So measure your stuff and see if it fits. As far as passenger space goes, on the base model Outbacks, it's 109 cubic feet of total passenger space, and on Outbacks like this one, it's 106.5 cubic feet because this car has the power moonroof. Now, I think the tape measure is not going to be so useful here, so I'm going to use myself. I'm 6'5", I weigh about 300 pounds, and let's see if I can sit behind myself. So honestly, the answer to this question is yes. This is me sitting in the front passenger seat. I'm not stretched out super comfortable, but I have enough leg room. My legs aren't touching the dash. I'm cool. And if I get out and sit right behind myself, same thing. Again, not tons of leg room, but I am 6'5", so I'm impressed with the interior space in this car. I think it's definitely a little bit of an improvement over the previous Outback, and since this is a Touring, we have Napa premium quality leather. It takes meticulous craftsmanship and over 30 days to produce the genuine full-grain Napa leather trim on this seat. Excellent. Another new feature on the Touring is power folding exterior rear view mirrors. When I lock the car, they fold in, and when I unlock the car, they fold out. Pretty cool. Okay, so now let's get in the car and talk about some of the new technology features on it. Now, this is an Outback Touring. It's not an XT model, so it doesn't have the bigger engine, but it has all the other possible technology features on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is get in and close the door. and it recognized my face. Hello, Hard Worker 12. That is the driver monitoring system, which is an infrared camera that you can see on my camera right up here. So it took a minute to recognize my face because I was holding my video camera. But once it recognizes your face, it will change your power seat and your power mirrors to your position. Once you've entered the vehicle, you do have to register this one time, and I'll post a video showing how to do that. But that is one of the new technology features on the new Subaru Outback and Subaru Legacy models for 2020. Now, this big old touchscreen, I've kind of been over ad nauseum in other videos of mine. So I'll post maybe a playlist where, you know, you can see some of the different features on it. Some of the things that I like about the new touchscreen, I think the map really looks great. You have a big map. It's kind of like pinch to zoom, like an iPhone. Pretty easy to program. Just hit menu, search, add home. Everything's pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to use there. One of the things I'm not a huge fan of, I mean, I guess they had to do it because the new touchscreen's so large, but they actually absorbed the climate controls into the touchscreen. So if I want more air, I do that. If I want less air, I do that. Oh, I just turned the whole thing off. See, that's a touchscreen for you. And if I want to change where the air is blowing, I push my little guy, and then I can change the blower settings, and I can put it more air, less air. So it works, and some people just love it. If you love a big touchscreen in your car, you'll love it. I'm not the biggest fan of touchscreens, but I'm in the minority on a lot of things, and that's one of them, because the customers really do seem to love this thing. Because this is a touring model, it also has the heated seats, which are very common on Subarus, but it has cooled seats for the first time in an Outback. So if I push this little thing, I can see my temperature information and I can see my seats. So I can turn the heated seat on here, and I can change the levels, and then I can turn my ventilated seat on here and have a nice breeze through my seat, and it does feel nice. So that is some of the new sort of comfort and convenience features. Because this is a touring, it does have the 180-degree front camera, which is that there, so I can see what I'm going towards when I'm moving. Let's see how well I can see my tripod on this thing. There's my tripod. Yeah, don't run over your tripod. And then here's my rear view camera, and of course, this being a touring model, I have all of the safety stuff as far as the rear automatic braking and the rear parking sensors. So as I get close to this vehicle, it automatic braked. I had my foot on the brake barely there, but the car kicked in. That sort of loud fart sound that you heard was the rear automatic braking. I will tell you that that feature has saved me a couple of times on the storage lot. Not while I'm filming, just while I'm moving cars around. If it's dark and late at night and I think I have enough room and I don't, that has kicked in a couple of times and saved me from rear-ending another car. So that's a nice feature, the rear automatic braking, and that's available on several of the different trim levels on all the new Subarus actually, but including the Outbacks and the Legacies. So other than that, most of the technology that's in this car I have already covered. So you can see some of my other videos for that stuff. But for now, let's take this baby for a test drive. All right, so driving the new Outback. Now, first of all, this car does not have the luxury of replacing the town drunk. The 2019 Outback was a fantastic car. Very practical, good interior room, drove great, the handling was great for what it was. I mean, it's a crossover SUV wagon thing. It's kind of hard to define the Outback. You could call it a small mid-sized SUV, you could call it a large compact SUV, you could call it a tall station wagon. It's a crossover. It really is kind of one of the original crossovers, and I think it's one of the few cars that actually sticks to that definition today. But every time over the last decade that I've driven a model that Subaru has just redesigned, which I've driven all of them, what typically strikes me the most is how they manage to make it smoother and make it handle better, which is a little bit of a dichotomy, because normally if you improve the handling, the ride will suffer a little bit because you made the suspension stiffer. And if you make it smoother, the handling's going to suffer a little bit because you made the suspension softer. But Subaru has seemed to be able to improve both simultaneously in an incremental level. And as far as the ride, they have done that with the 2020 Outback. It does ride a little bit smoother than the 2019 model, which is impressive because the 2019 already had a very nice ride. It feels more solid. You can really feel the increased structural rigidity of the Subaru Global Platform that this car's on, which this is now the Impreza Crosstrek Forester Ascent. This is the 5th car, this and the new Legacy, that they have put on the new Subaru Global Platform, and it does feel more solid. The power, this is just the standard engine. I'm not driving the XT. I'm driving the 182 horsepower 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. That's 7 more horsepowers than the same engine had in the 2019s, and it's also rated 1 mile per gallon higher than the same engine was in the 2019s, because the new engine has direct fuel injection. The power honestly feels about the same. I don't feel the additional 7 horsepower. I don't think that's quite enough to make a difference, but it's fine. I mean, the 2.5 liter Outbacks have never been hot rods, but they've always gotten the job done as far as getting up a hill, getting onto the highway. Not the fastest car on the road, but totally adequate. You're going to be able to get where you're going. I'm going up a little bit of a hill right now at light throttle, normal traffic speeds, no struggling whatsoever. It's just kind of going along with the flow. But again, a little bit smoother ride. I'm gonna find a road with a little curvature to it, and I'll see if I can get an idea for the handling. This is a brand new car that somebody's gonna end up buying, so I'm not gonna take it for a super long test drive, and I'm not flooring it, hammering it, redlining it, because it's not a press car. I'm not at that level yet. Maybe someday I will be, but this is a great car. I mean, really rides nice. And I'll put my cards on the table. I'm a Subaru salesperson. I'm biased, okay? For sure. Journalistic integrity, if you even want to call it that on a YouTube video. But I'll tell you this. I've had 4 Subarus myself. I could easily afford a Honda, a Toyota, a Chevy, a BMW X3, a C-Class Mercedes-Benz. I could get any of those. No problem. But I choose to spend my money on a Subaru because I do like them the best. It's my favorite kind of car, and I'm not just saying that because I sell them, because I drive one, and I've sold other brands of cars, and I was still driving a Subaru to work. I sold BMWs for a while. Didn't get an employee lease on a BMW. Nothing against BMWs, they're fine cars, but I prefer Subarus. That's what I like to drive. My mother drives a Forester. My dad had a WRX for a long time. I've got an STI now. I've had an Impreza, a Legacy, and a Forester myself in the past. So I am passionate about these cars. I like this new Outback a lot. I do think that it is an improvement over the old one. And again, that's impressive because the old one was a really great car. So Outback's been our best-selling car since it came out, the original one in 1996. And this is now, let's see, first, second, third, fourth. This is the 6th generation of Outback that Subaru has designed. And when you look at little things like being able to stow the cargo cover under the floorboard, I mean, you've been able to do that forever in one of these cars, but you can really see the thought that has gone into this vehicle. And Subaru knows their customers. You know, this is a great car for a lot of different people's lifestyles. If you've got the outdoors lifestyle, if you want to go camping, skiing, snowboarding, surfing, mountain biking, stand-up paddleboarding, bring all your dogs, bring all your kids, you know, cargo room. Very versatile vehicle. And in both Outback and Forester, because they're positioned pretty close to each other in the market, the Outback is a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, a little bit smoother, a little bit more technology available, a little bit more expensive. But really a wide array of people buy these cars for many different reasons. Let's get on to Baston Cherry here, where the speed limit is 50, and there's a couple of curves. Just giving it light throttle, getting it up to speed, not flooring it, no problem. Very, very smooth acceleration in this car. I am coming up to a little bit of a curve in the road here. This is not an extreme handling test, but yeah, I'd say it corners. I've driven this road a million times in a million different cars, and I would say that this car corners with a little bit more stability than a 2019 Outback did, which again is impressive, because the 2019 Outback, nothing wrong with it, great driving car, but this is an improvement. There's no question about it. It rides a little bit smoother and it handles a little bit better. It's an incremental change, but it is an improvement. So that's impressive. This is a nice car, and they did a great job with it, and I'm sure it's going to continue to be our best seller just because it has been. Uh-oh, low fuel warning. Would you like to search for gas stations nearby? Not really, because I'm on my way back. Another little bit of a curve here. Yeah. It isn't just the ride that they refined as far as the smoothness. I feel like the inputs are also smoother in this car. For example, the response of the gas pedal, the response of the brake pedal, the transmission actually feels a little bit smoother in this than it did in the old car, in the 2019 Outback. It's again, incremental. It's a small change, but it is an improvement, and it is a really nice car. And obviously, I would recommend it. But I'm not just saying that. I mean, I drive a Subaru myself, so, you know, if I tell you to buy one, I put my money where my mouth is, because that's what I drive. So anyway, let's get this thing back to the lot. We'll have a look at some pricing information for you. Window sticker on this car for a touring, manufacturer's suggested retail price, $37,345. This one has the exterior auto-dimming mirrors, splash guards, rear bumper cover, all-weather floor liners, rear seat back protector and cargo net. And destination charge is $1,010. So the total MSRP on this vehicle is $39,243. So in conclusion, I really like the 2020 Outback. I think Subaru improved on a winning formula. Didn't really change the styling too much, but that's never really been why people buy Outbacks. You know, the car looks sleek enough for what it is, but it drives great. It has great cargo room, great passenger room, and past performance is any indication of future results. It's going to be very reliable, have top safety ratings, and really be a good investment as far as an automobile goes. So anyway, thank you so much for watching my review of the 2020 Outback Touring. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.